Good Minister, you and I both formerly were school teachers, and both of us understand the challenges in terms of teacher shortages in education. This, of course, is a problem that predates COVID and the plan to reopen schools in September. I welcome the recent announcement that the Minister made regarding 1,080 additional teachers for post-primary. Can the Minister provide the House with details on how these additional posts will be made available to schools?
Thank you, Deputy, and appreciate you raising the question. My department is working with education partners on measures to address anticipated teacher supply pressures arising from additional posts into the system and to meet the demand for teachers to fill short-term substitutable vacancies. The additional posts coming into the system, I must reiterate though, is very, very positive news for the education sector. The COVID-19 environment is impacting on the willingness of teachers to travel and work abroad, and we are hearing from post-primary schools that there are some improvements in supply this year as a consequence or as a result of that. In 2019-2020, there were 2,800 teachers on part-time contracts and 1,300 job sharing. My department is also working with the Teaching Council to raise awareness of teacher supply in post-primary schools, focusing on teachers who are currently registered but not actively working in schools. The higher education institutions are working on more flexible arrangements for student-teacher placement in post-primary schools also. This will facilitate student teachers to be available to their school for substitution and supervision while on placement. Student teachers will be paid for any hours worked outside of their required placement hours. The Teaching Council is also working to allow teachers who qualified abroad to register and complete their induction programme here in Ireland for the coming school year. This could see up to 200 additional, this move alone could see up to an additional 200 newly qualified teachers available to the system at post-primary level.
Thanks, Minister. Also, the shortage of teachers has a dramatic knock-on effect on students, teachers and the whole education system. Lack of sufficient qualified teachers and staff instability threatens students' ability to learn and reduce teachers' effectiveness. Teacher shortages at post-primary level need to be tackled in the context of growing student numbers at second level. Every year, as principals scramble to fill posts for the following September, we hear of shortages in particular subject areas. A TUI survey has found that subjects like home economics, French, maths, Spanish and the sciences are particularly affected. In the context of the additional 1,080 posts, does the Minister envisage that new posts which have been announced will go some way to addressing this problem?
Again, Deputy, thank you. Just to reiterate that I do believe the additional posts that have been announced will be a substantial benefit to the post-primary sector. And again, just to clarify that we are very confident of the various strands or pools that are available from whence to draw those additional teachers, whether it's the 1,300 who are currently job sharing, and that for the first time we will lift the bar on the number of hours the teachers can work in terms of job sharing. The 2,800 teachers who are on part-time contracts, those hours can be extended. There's also, as we said, the pool of students who are returning home and those who may choose not to go abroad. So there are substantial avenues for us to find the resources. Not to say that on an ongoing basis, following engagement with the Higher Education Authority, new ITE undergraduate programmes in a number of priority subject areas, as you've mentioned, were put in place by higher education institutions for September 2019. Programmes included maths, more modern foreign languages and Irish, and more new undergraduate ITE programmes are also planned to commence in September 2020, which will include Irish, modern foreign languages, mathematics and computer science. I do believe all of this will be of assistance.
Yeah, and finally, Minister, another issue which arises with regard to the introduction of these new posts is the timeline for training to be completed. It's very welcome that induction training is to be provided to school staff ahead of reopening. Where this training is due to take place, and in schools where teachers have just started a new post, there is likely to be a period where new staff will have to adjust or acclimatise to their new school and settle in. Given the current issues of COVID-19, and while this training is most welcome, is the design of this training taking into account the potential for those taking part to be newly hired staff?
Thank you to both deputies. The induction of the new teachers, as you would be aware, Deputy, absolutely all the training facility is for the whole school community, for teachers who are already working in the environment of the school, but equally so the new teachers that will come on stream. And I would be very conscious that under normal circumstances, new teachers coming on stream in in a school must be particularly nurtured, and you would be aware that there is always a designated teacher for that. Equally so, there is a lead response worker in terms of COVID-19 as well being appointed to each of the schools, and that will also be a further support, not just to the entire school body, but in particular for any particular issues or key issues that might be identified for the new teachers coming on stream. So, schools do work as a team and in a collaborative manner, and I have every confidence that that's how it will work going forward. Just in relation to the vetting, I am aware that there may be issues in terms of turnaround of vetting, but could I say to you that many of the teachers who are already in the system are already vetted, Deputy, and should there be a requirement for new vetting, that we have a very quick turnaround. We have discussed it with the Vetting Bureau that there will be an extremely quick turnaround for that, but most who are already in the education sector are already vetted.